Hello, I am Mandy Roberts, and today we are going to go over Chapter 31 of our Griffin 2006 text. And this chapter is about Face Negotiation Theory by Stella Ting Toomey. According to our Griffin 2006 text, Stella Ting Toomey's face negotiating theory helps explain cultural differences and responses to conflict. There are four concepts that are linked together in the way that people handle their conflicts. The first one is the type of culture from which they come. Second is the type of self-control. Third is type of face maintenance. And fourth is the type of conflict management. Ting Toomey bases her face negotiating theory on a distinction between collectivism and individualism. I like how our Griffin 2006 text states that people are not cultural clones. There are varied self-images within a culture. There is interdependent and there is independent self-images. In our Griffin 2006 text, there are multiple faces of face. The question comes down to, whose face are you trying to save? There's self-face, other face, and mutual face. Our Griffin 2006 text tells us that Ting Toomey initially identified 5 distinct responses to situations. The 5 styles of conflict that she discovered was avoiding, obliging, compromising, dominating, and integrating. There were 3 additional styles of conflict that came about. There's emotional expression, passive aggression, and third-party help. Identifying these factors are huge in keeping face. Our Griffin 2006 text states that Ting Toomey's goal was not necessarily just to identify the ways that people in different cultures negotiate face or handle conflict, but she really believed that there were 3 keys and requirements for effectively communicating against all cultures. The first one is knowledge. This is rather important because you have to know what you're handling and what you're dealing with. The second is mindfulness. So this is keeping in mind what you know about this culture and the person that you're negotiating with. And the third is interaction skills. This is your ability to communicate appropriately, effectively, and adaptively. And I think the adaptively is key because if you can combine the knowledge and the mindfulness, you can adapt to what you're trying to negotiate. Griffin 2006 taught us about the face negotiation theory by Ting Toomey. It also told us that she did extensive studies and surveys to test her theory. As I read her theory, I find her theory to be one of the most relevant ones that I have read so far. I see it in play every day of my life, and I've used it and been successful at using it. I always think about how my mother used to tell me when I was younger. We were raised in the South, and it was all about Southern hospitality. But when we would have guests over and I was a young child and I didn't necessarily feel like entertaining, or I didn't necessarily like who they were coming over, it might have been a boring dinner, or it might have been my mother always told me, you don't have to like it, but you do have to fake it. So my mother from a very young age has taught me that I have to keep face and I have to be able to negotiate against all different types of cultures that come my way. And I think when someone does that, they can become very successful in their life. Not only that, but they become more of a people person. Having the knowledge of what you're dealing with, and then keeping in mind what you know about that person, and then being able to use those interaction skills, I think would take someone very far in this world.